on to example 4. So for example 4, they gave us this lovely little picture here where they show us that 1 foot right here looks like this. This is 1 foot length. That's 1 foot length. That's 1 foot length, and that's 1 foot length, making this whole area 1 square foot. While this is 1 foot, and that is 1 foot, and that is 1 foot, making this whole length right here 1 yard. Just because there are 3 of these does not mean that 3 feet squared gives you 1 yard squared. You actually have 9 little blocks in 1 yard squared. 9 of them. So you have to think about 3 feet squared is equal to 1 yard squared, where the 3 gets squared as well as the feet. That's why it's 9 feet squared is equal to 1 yard squared. The 3 gets squared as well as the feet. The whole thing. That has to be used in our little information here. So they want to know the area in square feet of a 100-yard by 60-yard football field. So the first thing we're going to talk about is area equals length times width. This is another one of those common knowledge formulas. We expect you to already know this. If you don't already know it, I'd stick it on that little index card you're building. It's not going to be on the formula sheet for you. We expect you to know this one. So the area in this case is going to be 100 yards times 60 yards. So the area of our football field is 6,000 yards squared. That's the area of the football field. That is not the area in square feet, which is what they wanted. Now I have to convert this to square feet. So I have this 6,000 yards squared, but we want it in square feet. So I'm going to use what we learned about yards squared and convert it to feet squared. We know that 1 yard squared is equal to 9 feet squared. Not 3 feet squared, 9 feet squared. So I can cancel out and get that this is 54,000 feet squared. Now, a lot of people aren't going to memorize this fact. I don't have that fact memorized, honestly. I don't need that fact memorized because there is a fact that we all have memorized, and that's that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. We all know that. So if I start out with I'm going to show you an alternate way. If I start out with the 6,000 yards squared, I can multiply it by 1 yard and 3 feet. We all agree, right? True. It's true, right? Yard on top, yard on bottom. We're good, yes. The problem is I have 2 yards on top and only 1 yard on the bottom. That means I need another yard on the bottom, so it'll cancel out. So I just make another fraction, put another yard on the bottom, put another 3 feet on top. Cancels out my 2 yards on the top, 2 yards on the bottom. Everybody's happy. 6,000 times 3 times 3 still gives me the same 54,000 feet squared, because there are 2 of them on top. See how that works? We still get to the same place. It's a little more writing, but you didn't have to memorize anything. Will this always work? Heck yes. That's why I showed it to you. I suggest you do this all the time. That's just my suggestion. You can do it either way. Either way is fine. This way, you don't have to memorize anything else. You don't have to figure out anything else. The other way, that's up to you. You do you. Let's look at the next one. It says a hot tub circulates 3.5 cubic feet of water per minute. That is a fact. 3.5 feet cubed of water per minute. It's a fact. How many cubic inches of water does it circulate each minute? I wrote it as a fact because it's a fact. .5 feet cubed per 1 minute. They want to know how many cubic inches of water does it circulate each minute. So they want us to change the cubic feet to cubic inches. Okay. What do we know about feet and inches? 12 inches in 1 foot. The foot has to go on the bottom. So my 12 inches goes on top. I have 3 feet on top. I only have 1 foot on the bottom. Gonna have to do it again. And again. So that they can all cancel out. Those 3 on top canceled out with the 3 on the bottom. That leaves me with 3 inches on top, but that's good because we wanted cubic inches on top. Now I can use my calculator to multiply 3.5 times 12 times 12 times 12 and divide it by 1. And when I do that, I get 6048 inches cubed. Don't take my word for it though. You do the math and see.